Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We struggled with the boss last time, but I worked it through off camera, and I think we need our boy Saz and Vanille. Reason being is I need to debuff him, like debuff him well, and actually make me do damage well. But also, I need Saz's Haste. I think Haste will help us mitigate that big ass attack better. We don't need a Sentinel, and that's the thing I should have realized is like there's no reason to have a Sentinel, because Sentinels is really meant for like multiple enemy engagements, and in most cases tanking, but because this guy isn't reacting to the Sentinel, we shouldn't really need him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's try this again.
Nothing to you?
Nope, I have a thing for this. Okay, we're gonna do right one first.
Let's go!
And again, this music slaps hard.
Take down the enemy.
Okay. So far, a lot better. I do wish I made a medic Commando Ravager situation. And actually, I think I might just keep it here. He's not doing enough damage yet.
Thanks.
There he is.
Thank you. Don't give up!
And I'm just waiting for now Saz to finish buffing everyone. I think I won't use any of the synergy ones anymore.
Follow my lead! Thanks.
Oh, what kind of sucks now is I have to rebuff the Neo.
Thank you.
This is the power I'll see.
Let's see. I should have made a triple Ravager. I didn't think about that. I fear that's gonna bite me in the ass.
You will taste agony.
Ooh.
Barthandalus. Thanks. Follow my lead.
I do imagine like coming in as a voice actor for games like this, especially if you're not like a player of this kind of game. Just
Okay.
you're gonna be voice acting saying this ridiculous name,
Barthandalus.
Barthandalus.
Witness my power.
Like I don't know anything about the voice actress playing Lightning, but
She plays Liara in Mass Effect.
okay.
You know, I'm gonna keep the healing.
Which I think is gonna be the next game I play through. I'll have to decide like
Yeah.
what difficulty I want to put it on, because I don't know that I want to record it for it, but it would be kind of interesting to try doing the harder difficulty just to see. Like I would probably do better at it now than I would have in the past, so. But I've kind of just had to make some peace with the reality
damn it.
that I'm.
Just.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay. I do need to do a triple Ravager because I should have been doing that the entire time he was charging up. That was my mistake. So let me reset some paradigms. Because the strategy's working. Okay. I don't think I need him. I don't think I need a bully one. I don't think I need that. God damn it. No. God damn it.
Ooh, the slowness. Let's just move this to my.
Gorilla. I like Gorilla. I think this might be the move.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's.
Because when I'm buffing, I only need one Ravager. When I'm buffing and debuffing, I only need one Ravager, and there's rarely a case where I need to debuff a lot. Only at the very beginning would I need to.
Cocoon's nothing to you?
You are ignorant of your place.
Wrong thing. Off to a great start.
Follow my lead.
There we go.
Damn. They're.
Barthandalus.
Does that take out both faces?
Hmm?
Does that take out both faces, or do you?
No, each face is a singular thing. Existence.
Oh, because it's islet. I don't know what an islet.
Yeah.
What is an islet?
No one really knows.
I could do it. Yeah. Follow my lead.
Oh shoot, where did I say that? Not what I wanted.
Place. So we can give you a reason.
Let's go. Barthandalus.
Oh,
I think Lightning can take care of this one by herself. I'm gonna keep letting Saz buff.
This is
man, I know it's unrelated to anything, but I don't know how I never discovered note to self feature in Signal and being able to send PDFs to myself.
I don't know how you didn't know that. Like I feel like
don't
you'd be
know
the
how
I feel like you'd be the first person to learn about that.
Just because it can be really annoying to try to send things back and forth to my phone.
You could do it.
No,
I
100%.
have an Apple phone, and it's like,
Hello, sir.
you ignorant of your place.
Oh yeah. Follow my lead.
Okay, I'm just gonna heal up really fast.
Don't give up.
Let Saz buff.
What can be this?
Oh, that thing's still alive? I did not know that small one was still alive.
Let's go.
Nope, wrong one.
Take down.
okay, I see.
What's up?
So apparently, well, I don't know. Some of them might have been actually useful, but apparently an eyelet is more like a little decorative shoulder armor that goes above the pauldron, whereas the pauldron itself is the protective shoulder armor.
Let's go.
So I was like,
see.
I know what a pauldron is, but I've never heard of eyelet. So it's like you have the pauldron, and then like above it, you might have the eyelet, which is like often decorative,
I
and
see.
like might show like your coat of arms or some other symbol for like who you are or whatever.
Submit. Submit.
I mean, it's notable in the modern era that like you just search the word eyelet, and a number of the results are for Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy Wiki, because that's how like unrelevant that knowledge is to anything else now.
Follow my lead.
Okay, gotta build this up real fast.
does that just weaken it? Because
I think that's what it did. Was it because he did like stagger a little bit, like
Yeah.
did you notice that? Okay, so I think it's just to make it a weaker attack overall, which I'm okay with.
Well, yeah, because before it was like decimating your entire team.
I'm gonna let him rebuff.
Submit.
But that's definitely
Oh,
the strategy.
I did keep him staggered. I didn't know that. Oh man, I wish I kind of knew that. No.
Barthandalus.
Oh god. Okay. I think if I get him enough staggered, he'll like do that. There we go. Okay. But I do want Vanille healing during this part.
Follow my lead. Thank you. Thanks.
Yield. Witness my power.
I think we're fine. I think we'll be okay.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Like I might even, yeah. I was like, I might even get him before he finishes off the attack.
In tight ring.
Okay.
The foul sea running the sanctum.
Then, I guess it wasn't Eden controlling things after all.
As I said, I am Lord Sovereign.
That wasn't even his final
Guess
form.
Foul Sea don't go down as easy as the rest of us.
Ease is not the issue. You have not fought to win. You should know quite well already the sure way of dispatching our kind. Ragnarok.
His heroin or cocaine nails.
What's Ragnarok? Ah! Ah! Ah!
Pitiful the sea. You've forgotten your focus. Ragnarok is the beast one of you must become in order to lay waste to Cocoon.
Yeah, those long ass nails.
One among you will become that monstrosity. Defeat Orphan and destroy
I said this before. I do think you should play through Final Fantasy X.
Yeah.
the font
If not for the channel, at least
Is
for
it
like
on?
it's
Is it
on
on?
Switch. It's on everything.
strength. And Eden in turn sustains you and the rest of our kind.
Which you're free to use my Switch for that purpose.
Destroy Orphan, and you'll
I
release a
apologize if you
force
hear
such
me
as this world
sniffling.
has never seen.
I either have developed allergies or I'm getting sick. Who knows?
So if I did that, destroyed Orphan,
Your focus will be fulfilled.
so what? Who says it has to be?
Sarah asked us to save
My
the
guy.
Cocoon before she turned to crystal. Save it, and that's what we're gonna do. Sarah was trying to tell us how to complete our focus, and we have.
Allow me to help you see the truth of things. The moment you arrived, your friend wept crystal tears. This was because her focus required that you be brought together. That girl did nothing but assemble the tools for Cocoon's destruction. Did it never occur to you? Or did you simply refuse to countenance the thought? If you will not face the truth, then face the peril of your plight. Run, let's see. See how stark reality is.
Come on!
This is bad. The yoke's jammed.
Knew it was a trap.
Something's coming.
We love a CG scene.
Not so fast, let's see.
This fool. I need to find the name of the track that's been playing during the boss fight. It slaps hard. Ooh, is this where it finally opens up? No? Oh.
The hell kind of ship is this? Fighting on its own?
Clever, aren't you?
Some of these scenes are like cool, but also a little hard to follow what the hell's happening.
Do something!
Got me?
Yeah, mostly because it's like white cloudy sky. The big ass ship is a white ship, so it's like blending in a little bit with the clouds.
The shield!
Then it just kind of like
It's a lot of
has a lot
movement.
of motion blur when it like moves around.
There's a little bit too much movement that isn't entirely like. They don't do enough to distinguish the ships apart, and so when you have fast movement like that, like it's hard to track what's happening. What? What do you mean? Yes, I would like to see my current progress. So it turns out you just need haste. You just need haste
You
and
just need haste.
well, that and 3 competent Ravagers.
Yeah, kind of makes sense when you know how the game works a little bit, I guess. But
And also, like, I haven't played this
one of those
in
like
15 years.
it's one of those like it's one of those like
Something like that.
Yeah, well, what I don't understand is after the purge,
It
all
does feel like that.
sea paranoia. Why keep a chunk of pulse under the floorboards?
Is this what the Primarch wanted us to see?
A place for l'Cie to accept their fate.
Do you really think our focus is what Daisley said it is?
You mean become Ragnarok?
Destroy the Fal'Cie Eden and shatter Cocoon. That's what the vision's telling us, more or less. So, back to square one. Out of luck.
What's my boys doing sulking over there?
Cocoon calling snow.
And I think this actress for Vanille never did any other voice acting after this fact.
It's almost like Daisley wants it to come true.
Seems that way.
Which, and she's not doing a
Sure
bad
didn't
job. I
mind
just think that
explaining
the
it.
direction for her
Here's
character
your
is
focus
ass.
on the silver platter.
Like,
That doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Why would a cocoon fal'Cie want to destroy cocoon?
Maybe it's a fal'Cie thing. You know what I mean? Some grand design we just don't understand.
how dare we think to understand God's plan, Connor?
Hey, Snow. Nothing from you?
And I will say, like, the what I call, I think they're now Creative Business Division 1, I think is their term for their team. They have always done more direct, like, challenges to God. Oh, I'm by myself. Not only did they take away 2 party members, they took away I have no one. No. He said his boothing. His boothing caused the end of the world. Because, like, this one obviously is more explicitly, directly challenging literal gods.
We ready to get out of here?
Yeah,
Got it.
I gotta apologize.
And
I was
10,
wrong.
About Sarah's focus.
without spoiling too much, deals a
I'd
lot
like
with
you to
established
second-guess
religions.
yourself.
Well,
And
even
racism.
heroes make mistakes.
Yeah, and I know 16, you're
What about
challenging.
your plan to protect cocoon?
literal god. You're challenging like the
Either
Gnostic
way,
god or something.
Your
Yeah.
faith in Sarah was strong. That strength.
But also challenging, like, over-reliance on
It was all wrong.
Yeah.
limited
You tried so hard
resources.
to convince us that you even fooled yourself.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely
You've
the
been a
there's
total
the
idiot.
Yeah.
the oil parallel was
Yeah,
like smack you in the face if you're not, unless you're like,
You're really trying
unfortunately,
hard.
like
It saved me.
you're really trying hard to miss it.
You trusted Sarah. Let that faith
7
drive
is
you.
very much also, like,
It even made me
big
believe.
environmentalist story, along with trauma,
Yeah,
trauma responses, more.
Sarah, talk to me, baby.
it does make me wonder about.
I don't want to
the-
hear Troy Baker say baby.
the particular development studio and like the people who were involved with Square and stuff, because like they definitely are some messages that I don't think have like as much purchase in like mainstream Japanese society as it would seem from like the media that's real popular, if that makes sense.
Yeah. This fucking fool.
The face, the profile they gave to him for that picture is just
I mean, but it also just is really accurate to his character. It's like
sure.
just at least forward appearing buffoon. Wait, is her medic close
Yeah.
to which one?
It always is important for me to remember like these characters are all incredibly young.
Yeah, like only Saz
Ho-
is the oldest, and he's like probably mid-30s if I had to guess.
Yeah, I was gonna
The-
be like he's no older than like 40, 45. So
Like that,
And
yeah,
that's
and that,
probably
that's
in
the
the
high
upper end.
end.
That's like the
that's
upper
the upper
bound.
end. Yep.
he probably has an age listed in the wiki somewhere, you know.
Yeah, if we care to look at it.
Says 40.
Wait, he gets renew as a Ravager? That's kind of wild.
What is renew?
It's basically revivify.
Oh,
But okay. So one thing this game does is, you know, take Fang for example. She's Commando, Sentinel, Saboteur. She does eventually get like Ravager and Medic, but she gets them way later in the game when the game like really opens up, and each of those like levels cost way more to get for her. So that's their kind of like way to establish job systems, is like, yeah, you can train them to be this and that, but let's see.
But it's gonna be a pain
in the ass to
and
like
you're
get
not
there.
gonna like it. You should stick with the ones we wanted you to use.
And honestly, I don't think I need Try Disaster for this one. I think Mystic Tower makes more sense. The names for these are kind of wild and cool though, like Mystic Tower, Thaumaturgy, Matador. I don't know why Matador is that, but we'll just go with it.
You're like goading.
Oh,
You're goading
okay.
them.
Yeah.
You're using a Sentinel and a Saboteur.
Those
And,
were just legends.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that'd be my best guess of like why they would come up with that
I
name.
want to say we're close to Eden, but it's hard to be sure.
You're waving the red cloth in front of them to get them to attack.
I do hope that we start getting fights that give us a little bit more CP,
I believe we're still in Cocoon.
because we will reach a point where I think I will need to grind a little bit. That being said, I will grind off camera if that needs to happen. We haven't gotten a summon in a while. Who's missing? Vanille hasn't gotten one. Hope hasn't gotten one, and Fang. Not that I've used the summons, which that's my big complaint so far with the later Final Fantasies, especially after 10, is that the summons have become less and less useful to use.
Yeah. And then in 16, they just made it like...
They just made it set piece sequences, which is nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
No, then, yeah, set piece sequences, other than like you like get partial abilities, right?
Yeah. So like, I don't
you
mind
eventually get that.
the implementation there. I do wish, like, I don't know how to use the summons effectively in this game at all. And in 15, they were kind of just only showed up when you really needed them to. Now, here's the thing. I wish that Snow attacked the same person in this mode. And I need to look up if that is, like, by design. Not that I'm that worried about, like, dying, but let's just do this. So, let me make sure no one dies. There we go. Oh, there we go. So now everyone can do every role, which I probably won't engage with, and I will probably have to grind off camera for that. But after this chapter, I think is when it really opens up into, like, not an open world necessarily, but a bigger space that we can do a lot more grinding.
This place.
And depending on the day, that might be just something I do off camera or on, like, a stream situation.
That's what they called him.
Long ago, the Fal'Cie, who made their home on Grand Pulse, were afraid of invasion from the outside. As part of their battle preparations, they created an army of living weapons, and they stored those weapons in arks, and they hid the arks all over the world.
So when we recorded
Everyone on Grand
this,
Pulse
or at time of
knew the legend.
recording, this is post Switch 2 Direct.
So this is basically a Pulse army.
What is your general vibe on that, Connor? I don't think we've had an
Most
actual
of us
discussion about it
never believed
yet.
A few people tried.
I mean, I'm
searching.
liking the look of it.
They
I
never
feel
found
better
a
about
thing.
it after seeing some of the like more details on how it connects. I
Who'd have thought?
was kind of nervous about the connection they were showing because I'm like, those magnet, you connect my magnets and you have this piece sticking out. Like that's where kids are gonna break it.
No, yeah, and
The story's not
Luisa mentioned the
or
same
like-
thing, and
small.
We won't know until we actually hold one, but like I wonder. I'll probably see if any of the outlets I watch or listen to go into
To force Lassie to master their shiny
how
Yeah.
strong that feels, because I was wondering where the magnets were, and when they detailed that the magnets were like the ZL and ZR buttons, the side buttons,
Not Seath, but
there's 2
Yeah.
points of contact, and I wouldn't doubt that there's magnets on that little piece that's
Think of
sticking
it
out
as
too, so
training
that's like
for
3
fighting.
points of contact.
Herb's right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's still some kind of physical mount, a physical lock that button has to do with it too. I like the form factor. Again, I would have to see it in person because I'm hoping I don't have to buy additional
these guys.
attachments to make them larger, or if I do, it's just literally like more of a grip than a full
Yeah.
set of things. Because even with a grip on like the original Switch, those were just way too small for my hand to hold that comfortably.
Yeah.
I realize we're gonna have to go until we hit a nice save point because this game is from 20 something. So we'll go until then, and then we'll call it there. Because this does seem like just a battle-heavy section as we go from
Yeah.
point A to point B.
Yeah. But what I was going to say though is my overall feeling is like I like the look of the console. I think it'll be good. You know, backwards compatibility is good, although they've decided to be as confusing as possible on that, where like that's going to confuse some like
So
less savvy people a little bit.
yeah, from my understanding, it's almost like a Steam Deck thing of like they're currently testing games to confirm what's working, what's not.
Okay.
Because they've released a list of games that like work and don't, and I think the main reason being is like it's not they didn't include this original Switch hardware on there like backwards compatibility used to be back in the day.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're doing some kind of translation almost of games from Switch 1 to Switch 2. Not necessarily emulator,
So
but
the
similar kind of
reality is
idea.
a lot of digital games, like small indie games, will probably like the developer might just have to make a slight change to make them a Switch 2 version. Or
Yeah.
whatever, which would be fine.
And immediately people are like, they lied to us. I'm like, yes and no to that kind of response.
I mean, it does make it like a harder proposition early on
Yeah.
if there isn't like wide backwards compatibility, right? So that's one thing. The cost is a little steep even before we factor in the tariffs, so I do kind of get concerned that that's going to cause. Like for that console, I think it's a little steep. I'm not saying it's like a bad console price in general.
I want to know
But-
more about the actual specs of it, because it's higher than any other console we've seen. That's true. I do wonder
True.
if that's pre or post tariff concerns. Like, was that 450 taking into account tariffs already, or was that 450 standard without tariff concerns? And it only with new tariff concerns it went up. I'm okay with that price, considering the tech that's in there. Because from my understanding, it has what is effectively, again, my understanding, a slightly weak 30,000 RTX 30 series, which is your computer's series chip in it. With the
I have a
LSS.
3060. It has
Yeah.
the 3060 Ti in this computer.
Yeah. So I think for that, portable and going up to 4K 60 potentially, and the screen itself is kind of impressive because it can go up to 120 hertz.
Yeah, which is the other thing that I saw people like, oh, it's too bad they're going away from OLED. But
True, but
I think
OLED
the LCD probably costs less money, and the actual like competency has gotten better since the OLED came out.
and this is where
So,
I'll
like-
kind of say my piece about it is like I do think with how strong the Switch 2 is compared to the original Switch, it is more likely I'm going to be playing that on a TV than handheld. I'll still do handheld, obviously, but there's a stronger case for me to use it on a TV now. Like, part of the reason I didn't use my Switch on the TV very often is, like, one, I was playing a lot of indie games that, like, sure would have been great on a big screen, but there wasn't that much of a benefit. If an OLED refresh comes, so be it. Like, and then people can get it if they want to. Like, I'm not telling people to buy it, right? That's not that big a ding for me.
And then the mouse functionality for the Joy-Cons is neat, and I'm gonna say like a couple things on that one. It's like, it's neat, and I think it'll have some interesting gameplay mechanics. It does open the possibility up for like RTS experiences on the Switch.
Yeah.
Which is good. You know, it's like, it gives an actual viable home console alternative to
outside of
PCs.
plugging in peripherals on the side. Oh,
yeah,
one thing,
but I mean, like, even so, it's like you didn't have, like, it wouldn't have had like a lot of mouse support to begin with.
But now there's like a built-in incentive to do so because it's already built into the console.
Yeah, and they'll someone will probably develop a keyboard that functions with it if Nintendo doesn't do it themselves, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they partnered with like 8BitDo or someone to build a specific peripheral.
Yeah,
I could even see a half keyboard design.
Dude, can you imagine if they did they worked with like Logitech or Corsair, like one of the big PC peripheral brands.
Yeah, I only said 8BitDo because they do everything at this point, so it's like they could do.
Though
they could do
with Nintendo,
as
they
well.
probably want to include specific buttons and whatnot. So I'm willing to bet there's going to be like a Nintendo specific keyboard made by Nintendo specifically.
So what that also expanded into is like, I can definitely see adding that like weird mouse support, the mouse feature. Like, I could see them making it into a viable like mini computer for certain people too, which kind of goes toward what like a lot of Japanese tech has been doing for like 2 or 3 decades now, of making mini pocket ready computers. That it's like not usually something that gets much traction in the US.
How do I pull up
or the West? But it's like a lot of even in college, which was like 2010 to 2015, a lot of international students from like Japan, China, Korea would have like these tiny little pocket computers that were basically impossible to buy in the US.
Yeah. So see,
and
now I can have her be a Sentinel, a Saboteur, and a Synergist, but 3,000 CP cost. So you can do it, but you're kind of discouraged because of the high CP cost. But this is meant for like late game, and see, it's only a couple nodes per level. And really, it's just a couple stat boosts and abilities. I think the idea being that you can make any group be a viable group for these things, but at a much higher cost, ultimately.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking it up. The Sony Vaio P was one that I think you could get a hold of, but it was a little harder to get a hold of.
Dude, I remember the Sony Vaio.
Well, the Sony Vaio was an entire brand line of their devices, but this is like specifically a mini PC that was actually, this was post Ultrabooks. So this was not really the Ultrabook era. This would have been like between Ultrabook and like the more modern laptop era. The funny thing is the mini PC thing has now come back. A lot of like the GPD and other companies have started making like, I think it's GPD or someone else has one now that I saw that actually has like the game controls like you would need for playing like games with a controller, but it has like magnetized full keyboard that goes in, like an inset on top of it. And then you just fold it like a normal laptop. So you can have like a small, like 10-inch laptop with a full keyboard. It'll be small keys, so it won't feel quite right if you really need the bigger keyboard. But it can do everything that a normal computer can do, you know. And then you take that off and you have a game controller.
Nothing personal.
Like, oh, this is a really neat idea. But then I looked them up and they're very expensive, and I'm like, there's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if it's like your main device and you use it for everything and you're just okay with that, that's fine. Reminds me of this guy I saw that.
Yeah.
This like super minimalist guy I saw on a YouTube video where he lives in Japan, but he has like almost no possessions. He uses like a projector to cast his stuff on a wall. He has a mini PC for doing his like gaming and laptop needs. He might have had a small MacBook to do like more like
Demanding
have
things.
a slightly better screen to work on, but like and then just like he could fit everything onto like a little cargo cart like what you have.
Right.
So when he moved apartments, he just put everything on his cargo cart and walked down the street, and that's how he moved.
Well, back to the
like,
Switch
wow.
too.
Back me up.
I think the price, I'm okay with it personally. Again, if you think it's too much, that's up to you, and I respect that.
I do think that some of it is like the crunch of like the reality of rising prices, like inflation.
Yeah.
What it is.
I will
like
certainly
the-
agree that like for some people, this will not be
Target.
what they want, and the price is a thing. Because of course, if you do inflation crunch, all that jazz, it's in line with what a console would cost. But I totally agree. Like working families
honestly,
may
they
not
should
be able to
be-
do that.
They should be. If you're going just on pure inflation, it's like they would be much like even higher
Yeah.
at this point.
I think Nintendo is in a different space because I don't think a lot of singular individuals are buying it. I think it's for a family. I think
Sure.
it's meant for families, which I actually think, even though I wouldn't
so
use
they
it
could
for any
buy
reason,
But I can't.
they could buy one console, and that's the console they buy this year.
They could buy one console and buy several Joy-Cons, like even if it's like a family of 5.
Yeah, and that's, I think, the Switch is like where they kind of dominate in that regard. Is that I will always have some kind of Nintendo console for party play, because I would consider myself at this point mostly a PC gamer. Like my PlayStation is mostly for PlayStation exclusives and some third-party things where I want to play on a TV, or like, for instance, Split Fiction, like a couch co-op situation, or like when we play like Until Dawn and the Korean stuff together. Like that's where I would use my PS5. But I would consider myself mostly a PC gamer at this point. But a Nintendo console will always be there for like Mario Party, for all those party games, because they really kind of designed the console with that in mind, I feel. I'm actually kind of impressed to a degree, and this is where we'll save, with the game chat and stuff. I don't think it's going to work as well as Discord. I think it's a worse version of Discord. But I do think the camera and stuff, that could be, and I don't know if they're going to announce this, but that could be Nintendo's like entrance in, or a lot of kids' entrance into like streaming or like recording their gameplay. That is like less monetary buy-in than, say, doing it via a PC.
Yeah.
Also, like, I think the tech is at a space, because that's basically what the Kinect was meant to be, really.
That was an interesting one about the show. I forgot about the camera thing.
They tried to do that 15 years ago. It didn't catch on.
And I just don't think it was I just don't think it was viable at the time. And it's like now, you know, with machine learning where it's at, I think it actually might be viable finally.
And that's where I think the Switch 2 is going to really succeed at, is it has NVIDIA built in DLSS, whereas both PS5 and 360 have AMD based DLSS. And actually, I don't think the Xbox has any kind of machine learning, whereas recently with the PS5 Pro they have machine learning on there, but it's like a PlayStation branded version essentially, or PlayStation co-developed version of it, whereas the Switch right off the bat gets at least DLSS 2 or 3, which is really fucking good. Like it's, I have DLSS, I have a RTX 40, so I get the newest version, or second newest version, because the 50,000 cards are out. But I'm running Assassin's Creed, 3 Shadows on only 1440, not full 4K, but with DLSS on, like, I think balanced, and I'm getting most of the time like above 100 frames per second, and that game is good on, like, and I have it I think on the highest settings. That game looks good. Now to a degree that's dependent on Ubisoft making a really good PC version, which they're actually pretty solid on, but I think that's where the Switch is going to succeed in a lot of those demanding games, is if the devs implement and have it use DLSS correctly, you could be playing a lot of intensive games, maybe at a medium level of graphical fidelity if you were to look at it on a PC arrangement, but that's still good enough, especially if you're playing portable on a screen that small. It's going to look good, you know, like...
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to see how the price plays out, because yesterday they said they're delaying pre-orders because of the tariffs.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that plays out. If, like I was telling you in person earlier today, if it goes up, I'm not pre-ordering. I was going to pre-order the bundle with Mario Kart World, but if it goes up because of the tariffs, I'm just gonna wait it out until probably Donkey Kong Bonanza, and if it still doesn't go down by then, they'll probably wait for Metroid Prime 4 and see what the world is looking like at that point. Yeah, we'll probably have more impressions in another video as we think more, watch more. We're gonna call it there. It's a long episode, and I think the next episode will just be a lot of grinding and fighting battles, leveling up our people. Now that we have a full party, full access to everything, we're only going to get stronger. Peace.
Bye.